Hello everyone, my name is Anilanda and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'll be teaching you on how to enhance your eyes in a photo using Photoshop. But before that, hit intro. Okay, first things first. You need to duplicate the layer that you're working at by pressing Command J if you're using a Mac and Control J if you're using a PC. Next step, create a new layer. You will see it. Just click this button on the right panel to create a new blank layer. Next, you need to zoom in all the way in to the image you're working at because we're working at the eyes. We are going to enhance only the pupils of the eye. So from the new layer that we just created, the anti-layer that we just created, it should be selected and click on the elliptical marquee tool. And then from there, you need to create a circle around the eye of your subject, the same size as the pupil. And then just make sure it's aligned with the eyes. If it's not aligned like this, just go to select and then transform selection, and then now you can move the the marquee to the selection that you created like this. Just move it that it will fit the eyes, and then just press enter, and then fill this with white color. So again, the empty layer is selected, and then go to bucket, the paint bucket tool, and your palette should be white, and then click right here to fill it with white, and then press Command D to deselect it, or Control D if you're using a PC. Next, we are going to duplicate this white circle that we just created. Just press Alt and then click right here, and then drag it to the right eye. To the next eye. And then now it's duplicated. Now once you made a duplicate, both you will see right here on your right panel there are a new layer has been created, and you can just merge it by pressing Command E or Control E if you're using a PC, or you can just right click. I'm not sure here. You merge down. And that's it, it's merged. Next step, we are going to change the blending mode of these two circular selection or white circles that we just created. Make sure this layer is still active or selected, and go right here to the blending mode and go down to overlay. Now if you can see, the eyes has been enhanced. Next step, we are going to erase this part of the circle that we just created because it's not needed in this part. We only need from here all the way here. Now to remove this, just click on the eraser tool and then erase this part, and also the other side. Okay, now once it is erased, then the next step is you are going to blur it. To blur this, so why do we need to blur it? Because the edge is too hard, so we want it to look natural, so we need to make it to blur the sides. Just go to filter, blur, and go to Gaussian blur, and just go around like 6.5 and press enter, and that's it. If you can see the before and after, it's way enhanced. Let's zoom out. That's before and after. But if you we cannot work like this. This is too much. This is very obvious. She looks like an alien. Now we need to make it look natural. Just change the opacity. Move it down to 50%, and the fill also 50%, just to make it a bit natural. Now click on before and after. Again, it's up to you. If you want more, you can always adjust the fill and opacity if you want to see more of the changes you made in the eyes. To change the eye color, it has the same steps in enhancing the eyes, but this time we are going to use a different color and instead of white. To do that, first we need to create a blank layer. Next is we are going to create a circular red circle. We can use an elliptical marquee tool, but the other way, an easier way to do that is to just click on your brush tool, hardness, make it 100, and then the size of your brush, just make it big enough to fit inside the pupil, just like this. And then from your palette tool, click on the palette tool and change it. For now, let's use red. Now again, the brush tool is selected, and then just click it in the middle of the eye, just like this. Now we have a red circle, but I want it to be a bit bigger, something like this. So again, click it right here, and then click it on the other side. Now we have 2 red circles, perfect circles. Next step, we are going to change this to overlay, and then after that we are going to erase the unwanted part of the circle, just like this. Next, we wanted her eyes to be blue because in real life her eyes are blue. We are going to select right here and go to hue and saturation. Right click on hue and saturation. Make sure the hue and saturation is just above the layers that we just created, the red circles. So in hue and saturation, right click and create clipping mask. What does this do? This means whatever changes we make will only be applied in the red circles that we created, just like this. If not, if this is not clipped, that means whatever changes you made here, it will be, the whole image will be affected, and we don't want that since we are only working on the eyes. Now we are looking for blue eyes. So let's go somewhere here. I think this blue is fine, and then change the saturation down. If the color is too much for you, move it right and move it to the left to lessen the color. For me, I'll go somewhere right here, and then the lightness, just play with it so you would see on what will happen if you move it left or right. So for me, I might go to be a bit darker or lighter, maybe something like this, and then close it. Next, I forgot, from this layer, the circles, we need to blur it. Let's go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Let's type in 6.2 and then press OK. Now, her eyes are blue, but it's too blue. Now, in order to adjust the color of the eyes, you can always adjust the fill and opacity, just like this, if you want to change the intensity of the eye color. So now her eyes are blue, like this, and you can always change the color of her eye to any color you like. And that's it for today's video, and I hope you learned something. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my videos if you haven't yet. See you in my next video, and be safe.